Okay, so this is an update requested by a subscriber. His channel is called No to the New World Order, or No to the NWO, and I'll post a link in the description. Basically looking for an update, and also he was talking about a website so that you will be able to buy things online. Basically the way the websites work and the World Wide Web, selling to the world versus selling to a few people that walk through the door a day, your prices got to be bang on. Like, you got to have really cheap prices, and therefore your profit margins go way down. Therefore, if you're not selling a bunch, then you're not really making much profit. So therefore you also have to buy a lot. So that's kind of like an added expense that a person that has skyrocketed bills every month, just clawing through to try to make ends meet as it is, has a hard time doing. So I am making necessary steps to create a website so that people worldwide can buy my juice, but that's just going to be it for right now. It's just going to be a juice site where you'll be able to buy the different flavors that we offer, which are here. 15 more coming. Will be here shortly, within the next day or two, and so that list will grow. We started out with 9 flavors. We're going to have right at about 70 flavors in the next couple of days, so we're doing decent in that respect. But the website, being just juice, is going to have a wholesale side and also a retail side. Basically what I want to try to do is break into supplying my juice to other distributors. That way, like, say if you want to open up your own shop, you'll be able to have to just buy bulk juice flavorings. That way you can just start out easily, instead of having to go and buy 4 or 5 flavors for each juice that you offer in your shop. You just buy the flavorings already made up and mixed together by me, and then you'll just basically have to add the nicotine to it, and it will make things so much easier for you. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm getting into on the wholesale side, and then on the retail side, it will be pretty much any PG-VG ratio within reason. It will be anywhere from 70% on down to 30% of VG-PG. So, and then it'll be any nicotine strength that you want down to the 0.5. So say you want 18.5, you can get 18.5 milligrams of nicotine in your juice. Okay, so that's just something that I'm putting together. As far as the store goes, just kind of show you the flooring. I made a big mistake and listened to the guy at the paint shop, and I got flooring for in urethane paint basically, and I wanted black, and he talked me into this lighter color, which was a total frickin' flop, because it's concrete, so it's hard to mop, and then it's dirty and you can see the dirt. So it's not like the black that I wanted to go with, where it would hide most of the dirt. And so yeah, it might actually work out better if I go ahead and paint this whole entire store again in black, because then it might smooth out the concrete even more and make it easier to mop. So that might be pretty cool. It might be a blessing in disguise. But here's the shop. I've got a TV hung up over here. I've got my graphics in the windows. Don't have the tent in the windows yet, because the tent is an arm and a leg, and I can't afford it at the moment. The juice bar is going to be upgraded, and you'll see that eventually. And then basically some of the things on the wall over there, you can see the display cabinets. I should have one more counter for the register, but I'm using the end of the display cabinet over there for now. The business that was going out and had their other display cabinet on hold for me actually decided to stay. So that kind of threw me off there. I should basically have this kind of like going back a little further and wrapping around to an L, but that has not happened. So hopefully I'll find another good display case here pretty soon. I got some tables here and some coffee set up. Got free Wi-Fi, so that's kind of cool. Just making this as professional as possible. Little mini fridge down there. So as you can see, we have real coffee cups. Really cool. And that's pretty much it. That's the shop. So the paint on the floor actually only ended up costing like right around 85 bucks. It was 2 gallons. And so that seemed like a really cheap alternative to putting in industrial flooring, which I would still love to have had carpet tiles to be able to put in here. It's just the cost, you know. And then knowing that you're going to do that, and then your year lease might run up and you might decide to move, you know, and so therefore you will have paid to improve the building for somebody else, basically. So hopefully it's not too bad on the customer's eye, but it's definitely not the best. As you can see, there's some problems in the concrete, you know, so that's the downside. I got this computer set up here for my flavors, so basically when somebody walks in the door, I'll just come over here, flip the computer on, and eventually that thing will come on, and then somebody will tell me what kind of flavor they want, and then I will print their label, go back into the lab, make their juice up for them, and they're good to go. And the reason why I make a juice to order is because it's food grade products. It makes me nervous thinking that some juice might be sitting around for a few months. Because if you like a flavor, that's fine and dandy, but what about like the different nicotine ratios? What about the different PG-VG ratios? So if you don't have the volume going out, then it's best to just make it all yourself, and it sounds really good to the customer too. They don't have to worry about if the flavoring is changed through steeping and sitting around, has the juice turned skunky or anything like that. So that's that. Got this pretty cool coffee cup made that I set on this table. So pretty neat. What I really wanted to do was get a branded floor mat, but this was cheaper and it was in town at Lowe's, so I just scooped that up. But I was able to find a pretty cool coffee mat there. It had to be super wide so that it would look like it was supposed to be there at least. So there's that. That's my store. That is my update. This was a much better idea to move from the other place to here, because I'm a little bit more out in the street. More people can see us. One thing I do regret is that this costs more and it's a third of the size of the other one. And I really, at this point, would have loved to put a pool table in, but I just don't have enough room for a pool table. It would have been really cool to have a pool table that way in the off time, or maybe we could get more people hanging out and drinking coffee and shooting pool and vaping, and be able to have that. But right now in my off time, pretty much all I got is trying to figure out a way to improve the store, or sitting there playing video games. So that's unfortunate that we're having more downtime than I wanted. So that's that. My kids come in here sometimes and they just totally destroy this area, but at least it's kind of off from the customer's view. But that's it. That's the store's update. I guess I forgot to mention that I put the walls up there to separate my office, and I think that was a better idea. But yeah, so I was gonna do it. Thanks for watching.